personal brand. Now, there's a lot of talk about branding out there. I'm not talking about corporate branding. I'm not talking about logos and colors. And I'm not really even talking about particularly sophisticated marketing messaging. But we all show up as a brand. This conversation is going to get pretty real pretty fast. There's very few cameras on today. It's going to be a lot harder if we were in a true job search situation for me to remember you if I didn't see you, because you were one of a number of names in boxes on Zoom. Kind of went in one eye and out the other eye. When we see people, we remember them and we make quick snap judgments. I can see from some of the cameras that are on that people really thought about how they showed up today. I thought about how I showed up today. We make a visual impression. So I know myself best. I'm going to pick on myself. I have the classic complexion of an English woman. I disappear into the background very, very easily. It is really important that I wear lipstick on Zoom. It's a weird granular thing to mention to you all just after 10 o'clock on a Monday morning. But I know this because I switched my camera on. I checked my look in the camera and I thought, wow, you can't really even see your face. I cleaned my glasses. I thought about the clothes that I wore. I made sure that my visual brand supported my professional brand. If you're positioning yourself as someone who is organized and purposeful, you need to physically show up as organized and purposeful. If you are hiring someone who you want to align with your corporate brand, you are going to make snap judgments. Now, this gets to really difficult stuff really fast. I am not suggesting that you impersonate someone else. I'm certainly not suggesting that anyone discriminate or form those sort of in-out judgments on the basis of physical appearance. And we are heuristic people. We make snap judgments. If someone shows up looking, as my mother says, like they exploded out of the hedge, then we're not thinking that's an organized person who really put thoughtfulness around their day. I want to hire them. Our visual brand shows up every time we're in a meeting. If you're in a meeting that isn't a job interview, but is potentially brand relevant, think about your visual brand. If there's people today who could be referring you, could be joining you in the job search, they are taking your visual brand right now in as information to think about, do I connect these people? Do I join them together? So it should align with your verbal brand. Some of this is sort of obvious. Don't be super sweary in meetings. Know your audience. Be consistent in how you speak. Be organized in how you speak. Understand that what we hear forms part of that impression. Predictability and consistency is important to our brand, because if we suddenly show up in a way that's out of context, we confuse people. This is part of what made the first months of the pandemic very, very hard, because we felt we knew people. We saw them in the office where they made a decision to come to the office. And then suddenly we saw them at home and we had to adjust our perceptions of people. They looked different. Their context was different. At the beginning, it was maybe a little bit fun. And then people got super freaked out and everyone switched their cameras off. There are huge issues of equity and inclusion to consider here, but there are things that you have control over. Controlling your visual and verbal brand, showing up in ways that are reasonably predictable and consistent so that you are not looking like a sort of conservative, white-collar professional one day and someone who is heading to the job site the next day, unless you are a construction exec and you want to show that you can manage both of these, in which case, please use your verbal brand to put some messaging around it. Understand that humans are heuristic. What does that mean? It means we put quick filters, we draw conclusions, we make those yes, no decisions very quickly. Very quickly. Harness that to your advantage rather than letting it become something that is a disadvantage for you.